United Arab Emirates, the paradox of luxury living. The United Arab Emirates, a name that instantly conjures images of luxury, architectural marvels, and a skyline pierced by glass towers rising from golden sands. Home to global cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the UAE is often painted as a dreamland for ambitious expats, digital nomads, and high-flying entrepreneurs. But beneath the glittering surface lies a contrasting reality that few outside the Gulf truly comprehend. This is a land of staggering contradictions. On one end, the UAE dazzles with world-class infrastructure, jaw-dropping landmarks, and unmatched digital connectivity. On the other, it grapples with extreme climate challenges, limited natural diversity, and one of the highest costs of living in the region. Let's dive deep into the real UAE, beyond the tourist brochures and influencer reels. A landscape of luxury, not nature. Nature lovers may find themselves surprisingly underwhelmed. The UAE scores just 2.1 out of 10 in terms of environmental diversity and access to natural landscapes. That's because the nation is predominantly desert, a flat, arid expanse punctuated by modern cities that seem to rise out of nowhere. While the golden dunes and occasional date palm oases have a hypnotic beauty, there's a stark absence of green, fertile spaces or ecological variety. For those hoping to find forest trails, waterfalls, or alpine escapes, the UAE simply doesn't deliver. Parks and green belts do exist, meticulously irrigated and curated, but they're human-made, artificial bubbles in a naturally inhospitable setting. And yet, it's this very desert harshness that makes the man-made grandeur of the UAE so fascinating. Against all odds, luxury blooms in the sand. Extreme climate. Where the sun doesn't set, it scorches. If you're planning to move to the UAE, prepare to battle the heat. With a climate and weather risk score of just 2.3 out of 10, the UAE ranks among the least comfortable environments globally. Summer temperatures often soar past 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, making daytime outdoor activities nearly impossible without serious protection. Even in winter, the mercury rarely dips below 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning there's little seasonal variation to break the monotony. Humidity, especially in coastal cities like Dubai and Abu Dhabi, can be oppressive. The weather here is more of a challenge than a blessing. Climate adaptation is key. Everything from transportation to leisure is air-conditioned. For many, the UAE is a place to live indoors. The high cost of living. Not all that glitters is gold. While the UAE might seduce with luxury, it can also financially strain those not earning top-tier incomes. With an affordability score of just 4.3 out of 10, the country is expensive, especially for expats. Rent in central Dubai, Abu Dhabi, or Sharjah can consume a significant portion of monthly income, and high-end lifestyle amenities come at a premium. Basic groceries, transportation, and utilities are manageable but still costly compared to other global hubs. Dining out, school fees for children, and healthcare, though excellent, can add up quickly, especially for those without employer-sponsored perks. The UAE doesn't have income tax, which is often seen as a major draw. However, this benefit can be offset by the steep living costs and VAT on goods and services. Purchasing power among expats is often weaker than expected, particularly for those earning in non-UAE currencies. Many newcomers are lured by high salaries, only to find their disposable income dwindling in the face of real estate prices, social obligations, and lifestyle temptations. World-class infrastructure. A global leader in urban efficiency. Here's where the UAE truly shines. With an infrastructure and daily life score of 10 out of 10, it ranks among the best-equipped nations globally. Public transport systems, especially in Dubai, are fast, clean, and reliable. From the iconic Dubai Metro to smart taxis and water buses, connectivity is effortless and modern. The UAE's airports, Dubai International and Abu Dhabi International, are major global hubs, offering unmatched convenience and connectivity. Healthcare is also top tier. The country boasts world-class hospitals and clinics, with specialists from across the globe. Digital connectivity is exceptional, Fast internet, widespread 5G availability, and smart city planning make the UAE a tech-savvy paradise. Shopping malls here aren't just for retail. They're full-service lifestyle hubs, complete with medical centers, gyms, amusement parks, ski slopes, and aquariums. Daily life is structured, sleek, and efficient, especially for those who thrive in order and precision, safety and political stability, a beacon in a volatile region. One of the UAE's strongest draws is its safety. Scoring 8.7 out of 10 in security and political stability, it's among the most secure countries not only in the Middle East, but globally. Crime rates are remarkably low, and stringent law enforcement means that public spaces are safe at all hours. It's not uncommon to see luxury cars parked unlocked for children playing outside after midnight. Politically, the nation is extremely stable. Governed by a federation of monarchies, the UAE has managed to maintain peace and prosperity in a region often marked by conflict. Public protests and political dissent are rare, and the government prioritizes order and national image. This comes with both comfort and limits. Free expression, particularly around politics or religion, is strictly regulated. The expat reality, dream or illusion? Despite all the shiny features, the UAE's Expat Meter score sits at just 1.9 out of 10. That might seem shocking given the country's reputation as an expat haven. But the number reveals the nuanced truth. While the UAE offers luxury, convenience, and stability, it doesn't always feel like home. Cultural integration can be limited. Emirati citizens make up less than 12% of the population, and the society is heavily segmented. Many expats report living in bubbles, whether Western, South Asian, or Arab, rarely interacting deeply across cultural lines. Social freedom also varies. While the UAE has relaxed many laws around alcohol, relationships, and dress codes in recent years, it remains a conservative country at heart. For lower-income expats, particularly laborers from South Asia, working conditions can be harsh, and wages are often meager. Even white-collar professionals sometimes feel like they're on a clock, knowing their residence is tied to their job, and one lost contract could mean an exit from the country. Innovation and global ambition, the UAE's vision for the future. To understand the UAE fully, you have to appreciate its long-term vision. This isn't a country resting on oil wealth alone. Its leaders are investing in artificial intelligence, green energy, space technology, and cultural expansion. Dubai aims to become the world's most visited city. Abu Dhabi is positioning itself as a global arts capital, home to the Louvre Abu Dhabi and a growing museum district on Saadiyat Island. Sustainability is on the agenda too. Masdar City near Abu Dhabi is one of the world's first planned sustainable cities, designed to run on renewable energy. Dubai's solar park and investments in electric vehicles reflect a pivot towards eco-conscious planning. Despite the desert setting, a life of contrast, is the UAE right for you? Living in the UAE is like stepping into a curated future, a glossy, air-conditioned version of urban life designed for efficiency and display. For high-earning expats, entrepreneurs, and tech-savvy professionals, it offers an unparalleled lifestyle. Fast cars, luxury shopping, Michelin-star dining, and beachfront penthouses await those with the budget and ambition to thrive. But for others, the challenges can be daunting. Relentless heat, high costs, limited social integration, and the pressure of constantly performing in a hyper-competitive environment. The UAE is not for everyone, but for those it fits, it's a place unlike any other. The United Arab Emirates is a study in modern paradox. It's a land where the future arrives early, wrapped in gold, and delivered by drone. It's also a place where nature is scarce, affordability is a luxury, and daily life feels simultaneously thrilling and restricted. Whether you're seeking a new career chapter, a luxurious escape, or a stepping stone to global success, the UAE has the infrastructure and ambition to support your dreams. But it demands something in return: adaptability, resilience, and a willingness to embrace the contradictions of desert luxury. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's UAE overall Expat Meter score, 6.1 out of 10. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth explorations of life across the world's most fascinating destinations. Leave a comment below. What surprised you the most about the UAE? Mexico, a colorful land of contrasts for expats. From the golden beaches of Tulum to the bustling cityscape of Mexico City, and from charming colonial towns to majestic mountains and jungles, Mexico offers an intriguing blend of opportunity and complexity for expats. But living in Mexico is not a one-size-fits-all experience. The country offers a mix of sunshine, culture, affordability, and adventure, but also raises real concerns about safety and infrastructure. In this deep dive into expat life in Mexico, we'll explore the country through 5 essential dimensions: environment, climate, cost of living, infrastructure, and safety. A natural tapestry. Environment in Mexico. Mexico's environment earns a respectable 8.1 out of 10, and it's easy to see why. The country boasts extraordinary geographic diversity. You can wake up in a colonial town nestled in the mountains, spend the weekend by the Caribbean Sea, and plan a trip to arid deserts or lush rainforests. Regions like Chiapas, Oaxaca, Baja California, and Yucatan are globally celebrated for their natural beauty and biodiversity. Whether you're a nature lover, surfer, mountain hiker, or digital nomad seeking peace, the environment in Mexico caters to many lifestyles. But it's not just aesthetics, it's access. Cities like Mérida and San Miguel de Allende are known for blending charming natural surroundings with city amenities. Mexico is also home to over 60 national parks and nearly 50 biosphere reserves. Expats have ample opportunity to enjoy outdoor recreation, from cenote diving to whale watching. However, urban pollution in some major cities like Mexico City can be a concern, especially for those sensitive to air quality. A land of eternal spring and occasional extremes. When it comes to climate and weather risks, Mexico scores a 9.4 out of 10. This is one of its strongest categories, and for good reason. Many parts of Mexico offer ideal weather conditions for much of the year. The highlands around cities like Guadalajara and Puebla enjoy what's often called eternal spring, with moderate temperatures and minimal humidity. Coastal areas bring warmer climates, ideal for sunseekers and beach lovers. However, climate risk isn't evenly distributed. While the weather can be paradise-like, certain regions are prone to natural hazards. Hurricanes frequently impact the Yucatan Peninsula and Pacific coastal areas. Earthquakes are a risk in Mexico City and surrounding regions due to tectonic activity. Flash floods and heat waves are becoming more common as global climate patterns shift. Despite these concerns, Mexico's climate remains a significant draw for expats, especially retirees, seeking mild winters and abundant sunshine. A high score for value, cost of living. Mexico's affordability shines, with a strong 8.5 out of 10 for cost of living. This is one of the main reasons the country is a magnet for expats. Rent, utilities, transportation, and groceries can be remarkably affordable, especially outside of major tourist zones. For example, a modern one-bedroom apartment in a mid-sized city like Querétaro or Aguascalientes can cost a fraction of what it would in Western Europe or the United States. Beyond rent, dining out, medical services, and even domestic help are accessible to most foreign residents on modest incomes. Many expats report being able to live comfortably on $1,500 to $2,000 per month. Retirees who rely on fixed pensions or Social Security benefits often find they can enjoy a higher standard of living than in their home countries. However, affordability can vary. Tourist hotspots like Playa del Carmen or Tulum are becoming increasingly expensive, driven by gentrification and foreign demand. Even in these areas, expats can still find pockets of value, especially by embracing local lifestyles and avoiding tourist traps. Day-to-day life. Infrastructure in Mexico. Infrastructure and daily life in Mexico is a mixed bag, scoring an average 5.6 out of 10. The country's cities are vibrant and full of character, but expats often find infrastructure inconsistent. Public transportation in major cities like Mexico City is extensive, affordable, and mostly reliable, but rural areas often lack connectivity and modern amenities. Healthcare is one area where Mexico shows promise. The country boasts both a public and private healthcare system. While public care can be crowded and slow, private clinics and hospitals, especially in urban areas, offer high-quality services at reasonable prices. Many doctors and specialists are U.S. trained and speak fluent English. Medical tourism is a growing industry, particularly in cities like Tijuana, Guadalajara, and Cancun. On the tech front, internet access is generally reliable in urban centers, but speeds and coverage can drop sharply in remote locations. Power outages may occur in rural or coastal zones, and road quality varies widely between regions. Everyday life conveniences like supermarkets, pharmacies, and shopping malls are readily available in most towns and cities. However, challenges around bureaucratic inefficiencies and corruption can be frustrating for newcomers managing visas, property purchases, or local registrations. The elephant in the room: safety and stability. This is where Mexico struggles. With a score of just 2.2 out of 10, safety and political stability are serious concerns for many expats. Organized crime, drug cartel violence, and petty theft are realities in several parts of the country. While not all areas are dangerous, the news media and travel advisories often highlight the risks. However, context matters. Many expats live in peaceful and secure communities, especially in areas like San Miguel de Allende, Mérida, or Lake Chapala. These places often have strong local economies, active expat networks, and supportive local governments. Crime in these areas tends to be lower and often limited to non-violent incidents such as pickpocketing or scams. That said, travelers and expats must remain vigilant. Understanding which regions to avoid, such as parts of Guerrero, Sinaloa, or Michoacán, is critical. Corruption, especially in law enforcement, remains a widespread issue, and political protests or road blockades can disrupt daily routines. While Mexico is a democracy with regular elections, institutions can sometimes appear fragile or inconsistent. For many expats, adjusting to Mexico's informal security norms can take time. Things like gated communities, private security guards, or surveillance cameras are common in residential areas, not necessarily out of paranoia, but as a practical response to fluctuating conditions. Some expats also choose to live slightly outside large cities where the pace is slower and the sense of community is stronger. In these pockets, safety is often maintained through strong neighborhood ties and local vigilance, creating a different reality from the headlines. Being aware of local customs, staying informed through community groups, and blending into daily life can make a significant difference in one's overall sense of security. Why expats still choose Mexico? Despite the red flags around safety and infrastructure, Mexico remains a top destination for expats. The allure lies in its affordability, cultural richness, and lifestyle options. The food scene is globally acclaimed. Think tacos al pastor, mole poblano, and fresh ceviche. Cultural festivals, colorful traditions, and a strong sense of community offer a deeply engaging life experience. For digital nomads, Mexico provides easy entry, good weather, and growing co-working hubs in cities like Mexico City and Oaxaca. For retirees, it offers sunshine, a slower pace, and the possibility of owning a home in a charming neighborhood for a fraction of the cost elsewhere. Many expats say that the key to thriving in Mexico is choosing the right location and integrating with the local culture. Learning Spanish, respecting local customs, and building community ties can transform the expat experience into something truly rewarding. Mexico's Expat Meter score. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Mexico's overall Expat Meter score: 6.1 out of 10. Mexico isn't for everyone. It's not the picture-perfect escape painted on postcards. but for those who are adaptable, aware, and eager to experience life with all its color and complexity, Mexico can be a deeply enriching home away from home. If you're considering a move to Mexico, do your homework. Talk to people who've made the leap, join expat forums, and visit different regions before making a decision. The country offers multiple faces, some dazzling, others difficult. But the truth is, Mexico continues to draw expats because it offers something priceless: a chance at an adventurous, affordable, and meaningful life. Like this in-depth look into Mexico's expat reality? Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more honest, data-backed country reviews for expats. Planning your next move? Stay tuned for our upcoming guides on the best and worst places to live abroad. Australia, a land of wild beauty, high standards, and unmatched stability. Australia, a country that stretches across a continent, where modern cities meet the raw edge of nature, and where daily life blends comfort with adventure. It's more than a travel destination, it's a lifestyle choice. From its pristine beaches and vast outback to its world-class infrastructure and unmatched safety, Australia consistently ranks as one of the most desirable countries for expats, nature lovers, and global citizens. Nature's masterpiece. Step outside anywhere in Australia and you're instantly reminded that this country is nature's crown jewel. From the towering eucalyptus forests of Victoria to the coral gardens of the Great Barrier Reef, Australia's environment is as diverse as it is breathtaking. National parks cover nearly 20% of the landmass, and each offers something unique. Kakadu National Park in the Northern Territory is older than history itself, with Aboriginal rock art that predates the pyramids. Down south, Tasmania's cool climate wilderness is a sanctuary of rare wildlife and mossy rainforests. And in the west, you'll find the haunting beauty of the Pinnacles Desert, a landscape that looks like it belongs on another planet. Beyond these marvels, the beaches are a way of life. Bondi, Whitehaven, Cable, and Surfers Paradise aren't just iconic. They're part of daily life for millions. Australians are blessed with some of the cleanest air in the world, and whether you're kayaking through mangroves or hiking along a cliffside trail, there's a deep-rooted respect for the environment embedded in the culture. Australia scores a perfect 10.0 out of 10 for environmental quality, and it's easy to see why. Clean, green, and stunningly wild, the country sets the gold standard for sustainable living in harmony with nature. The climate, a year-round gift. Imagine living in a place where you get to choose your ideal climate: sunny and warm year-round, temperate with 4 gentle seasons, or tropical with refreshing coastal breezes. That's Australia in a nutshell. The diversity in weather here is incredible. In Sydney and Melbourne, you get the changing colors of fall and a crisp winter perfect for hot chocolate by the fireplace. In Brisbane or Cairns, you'll enjoy a more tropical feel, warm, lush, and ideal for water sports almost any time of the year. But more than comfort, Australia also leads in preparedness for climate-related challenges. Advanced forecasting systems, disaster management protocols, and resilient infrastructure keep communities safe even during extreme events like bushfires or floods. Cities like Adelaide and Perth have implemented smart water conservation programs, and solar panels are a common sight on rooftops across the country. With a 9.4 out of 10 score for climate and weather risk management, Australia proves that it doesn't just enjoy beautiful weather, it knows how to protect and preserve it. Affordability. A mixed bag. Living in paradise does come with a cost. Australia's cost of living is often ranked among the highest globally, especially in major cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Rent, groceries, dining, and transport can put pressure on expats and newcomers who aren't earning in Australian dollars. However, what balances this is the high standard of living. While expenses may be steep, the value for money, especially in terms of healthcare, safety, and public services, is significant. Smaller cities like Adelaide, Canberra, or Hobart offer more affordable alternatives without sacrificing quality of life. Another key factor is the strength of the Australian dollar. Expats earning in foreign currencies may feel the pinch, but those working locally often find salaries competitive, especially in skilled sectors like tech, engineering, education, and healthcare. Australia scores 4.3 out of 10 on affordability. It's not the cheapest place to live, but for many, the benefits outweigh the expenses. It's a lifestyle investment. Infrastructure that works for you. One of the first things you'll notice upon arriving in Australia is just how well everything works. Whether it's hopping on a train in Sydney, checking into a hospital in Melbourne, or using public Wi-Fi in Brisbane, the systems are streamlined, reliable, and efficient. Australia's transport infrastructure is among the best in the world. Trains and buses are punctual, clean, and extensive. In cities, you'll find bike lanes, pedestrian-friendly zones, and electric vehicle charging stations everywhere. Even rural areas have solid transport links that connect them to urban centers. Healthcare is a major win here. With Medicare, residents have access to subsidized healthcare, and both public and private hospitals maintain high international standards. Specialists, emergency services, and pharmacies are widely available and affordable. Internet connectivity is strong, with 5G rolled out in major cities and fiber optic networks reaching most urban and suburban areas. Schools and universities are globally recognized, making it an ideal place for families and students. With a 9.3 out of 10 in infrastructure and daily life, Australia is a country where things work, and they work well. Safety and stability, a global benchmark. If you're looking for a peaceful life, Australia is hard to beat. The country consistently ranks among the safest in the world. Violent crime rates are low. Gun control is strict and widely supported. Law enforcement is efficient, visible, and community-friendly. Political stability is another strength. Australia is a functioning democracy with transparent institutions, fair elections, and low levels of corruption. Even during global disruptions like pandemics or economic downturns, Australia has shown resilience and strong leadership. This sense of safety goes beyond just statistics. It's a feeling you experience walking home at night, letting your kids play in public parks, or discussing politics without fear. Australians value fairness, equity, and public trust, values that ripple across every part of society. That's why Australia proudly earns a perfect 10.0 out of 10 for security and political stability. The social and cultural experience. Australia may be geographically isolated, but culturally, it's a melting pot. With a population made up of people from over 200 countries, multiculturalism is not just accepted, it's celebrated. You'll find neighborhoods where Greek bakeries sit next to Lebanese cafes, where Chinese festivals light up city streets, and where indigenous Aboriginal culture is honored in art, language, and storytelling. Sydney's Mardi Gras, Melbourne's International Comedy Festival, and Darwin's Indigenous Art Fair are just a few snapshots of a vibrant cultural landscape. Australians are famously laid back and friendly. There's a strong sense of community, especially in suburban and regional areas, where neighbors still know each other by name and where weekend barbecues are a way of life. The work-life balance is another cultural cornerstone. Long vacations, flexible hours, and outdoor lifestyles make it easy to enjoy life beyond the office. Whether it's surfing before work or hiking on weekends, Australians know how to blend ambition with enjoyment. Education and family life. For families considering the move, Australia offers excellent prospects. Education is well structured, with a strong public school system and an array of private and international schools. Universities like the University of Sydney, ANU, and the University of Melbourne are among the world's best. Healthcare access for children and families is excellent, and child-friendly amenities, like parks, zoos, museums, and sports programs, are abundant. Parenting is supported at a policy level too, with parental leave, childcare subsidies, and health services all designed to support family life. Natural disasters and environmental risks. Australia isn't without its challenges. Bushfires, floods, and heat waves are part of life here, particularly in rural areas. However, government agencies and local communities have developed world-class response strategies. Evacuation plans, warning systems, and public education are all part of a national effort to stay one step ahead. Additionally, Australia is investing in renewable energy and sustainability more than ever before. Solar power is booming, conservation areas are expanding, and eco-conscious living is becoming mainstream. Before you make the leap, Australia isn't just a place, it's a promise. A promise of fresh air, wide open spaces, top-tier safety, and a lifestyle that blends freedom, beauty, and stability. It asks for a little more from your wallet, but gives back tenfold in peace of mind, natural wonders, and community spirit. Whether you're a digital nomad, a family seeking safety and opportunity, or a retiree chasing the sun, Australia welcomes you with open arms and endless horizons. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Safety carries the most weight, followed by environment and infrastructure, then climate and cost of living. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Australia's overall Expat Meter score, 9.0 out of 10. Ready to explore life down under? If this sounds like the dream you've been waiting for, don't wait. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us in the comments where in Australia you'd want to live first. Melbourne's artsy laneways, the golden beaches of Gold Coast, or the tropical calm of Cairns. Your new chapter might just begin with a single scroll. Germany, where efficiency meets soul. Germany stands as one of Europe's most influential and powerful nations, where tradition meets technology and history blends with futuristic ambition. As the economic engine of Europe and a magnet for international professionals, Germany holds a distinct place on the global stage. But for those who consider moving or living here, the experience is multifaceted, shaped by infrastructure, safety, climate, environment, and the all-important cost of living. This is a deep dive into Germany, not just as a country, but as a living experience for expats and global citizens alike. A glimpse into Germany's natural environment. Balanced but unremarkable, Germany's environment often surprises first-time visitors. While the country is dotted with picturesque rivers, forests, and charming alpine villages, its environmental diversity ranks as moderate, with a rating of 6 out of 10 in landscape variety and accessibility to nature. Germany offers a calm and steady ecological backdrop, rather than one of dramatic extremes. The Black Forest in the southwest delivers a dense, fairy tale-like woodland experience, while the Bavarian Alps offer snow-capped adventures in the winter months. Central Germany is home to rolling plains and scenic vineyards, particularly along the Rhine River. Yet compared to the sweeping fjords of Norway, the Mediterranean coastline, or the volcanic landscapes of Iceland, Germany's natural setting is more traditional and tame. Urban green spaces are well maintained but often structured and orderly. Cities like Munich, Hamburg, and Berlin offer ample parks, urban forests, and riverbanks. However, nature in Germany feels curated, more engineered than wild. That sense of control brings cleanliness and safety, but reduces the feeling of raw environmental thrill that some expats might crave. Weather comfort and climate stability, a strong advantage. When it comes to climate, Germany performs exceptionally well, with a rating of 10 out of 10 for climate comfort and low exposure to extreme weather risks. Germany experiences 4 distinct seasons, each offering a pleasant rhythm of change. Summers are warm but not scorching, typically ranging between 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, while winters are cold but manageable, especially in the lowlands where temperatures hover just below freezing. Snowfall is common in southern regions and higher altitudes, while cities like Berlin or Cologne often see gray skies and light drizzles rather than deep snowbanks. Spring and autumn are generally cool, fresh, and vibrant, with stunning foliage and blooming flora, ideal for cycling or hiking enthusiasts. The cost of living, a real challenge for expats. Despite the country's many strengths, affordability remains one of the greatest challenges of living in Germany. With a cost of living score of just 4.3 out of 10, the financial pressure on expatriates, especially those without corporate support or high-income jobs, is significant. Major cities like Munich, Frankfurt, and Hamburg are notorious for expensive rents, A one-bedroom apartment in central Munich can easily exceed 1,500 euros per month, not including utilities or services. Groceries, dining out, and public transport also carry a heavier price tag compared to other European cities like Lisbon, Prague, or Warsaw. While healthcare is excellent and partially subsidized through mandatory insurance, co-payments and premiums can still add up for families. Childcare and international schools, crucial considerations for expats, are both limited and costly. For freelancers or digital nomads, navigating Germany's tax system and bureaucracy without a stable income can be overwhelming. The bright side? Public services tend to deliver strong value for money. Trains are fast and punctual. Tap water is clean. Trash is managed meticulously. And while taxes are high, so is the return in quality of life essentials. Still, budgeting in Germany requires vigilance, especially in its economic centers. Infrastructure and daily life, a showcase of efficiency. One area where Germany excels beyond most nations is its infrastructure. Scoring a remarkable 10 out of 10. The country's roads, railways, utilities, and digital access represent the gold standard for developed nations. The Deutsche Bahn railway system connects virtually every major and minor town in the country. High-speed trains like the ICE, Intercity Express, can shuttle passengers from Berlin to Munich in under 4 hours, an efficiency that rivals air travel. Urban transport is integrated and reliable, featuring subways, buses, trams, and even bike-sharing schemes in most cities. Germany's highway network, famously known as the Autobahn, has sections with no speed limit, drawing car enthusiasts from around the world. But beyond the thrill, it is an engineering marvel that connects industries and regions with remarkable fluidity. Healthcare is another pillar of German life. The system is a hybrid model, blending public and private insurance. Doctors are well-trained, hospitals are well-equipped, and emergency services respond swiftly. Digital connectivity has also improved in recent years, with widespread 5G coverage and high-speed internet available even in many rural areas. Safety and political stability, a secure haven in Europe. Germany's safety index is impressive, scoring 8.7 out of 10 for both public security and political stability. Violent crime rates are among the lowest in the world. Streets are safe to walk alone at night, even in large cities. Police are professional and responsive, and civil unrest is rare. Politically, Germany has long been seen as a beacon of democratic stability. It boasts a strong legal framework, an independent judiciary, and transparent governance. Regular elections, a free press, and active civic engagement ensure that democracy is alive and functioning. The country is a founding member of the European Union and plays a central role in shaping EU policy and diplomatic strategies. Terrorism concerns, once a source of tension following the refugee crisis in 2015, have since declined. Social integration remains a work in progress, but Germany has actively invested in education, language training, and employment support for immigrants and asylum seekers. Overall, the atmosphere is one of calm and predictability, critical qualities for families, retirees, and professionals seeking long-term residence. Germany's cultural landscape, tradition with a modern edge. While the statistics highlight Germany's strengths and structure, what often captures the hearts of residents is its vibrant cultural identity. From the classical music of Beethoven and Bach to the techno clubs of Berlin, the country blends deep-rooted heritage with cutting-edge modernity. Oktoberfest in Munich, one of the world's largest festivals, reflects Germany's community spirit and love for tradition. Simultaneously, Germany leads in science, engineering, and art, housing renowned universities, research centers, and creative hubs. Food culture is surprisingly diverse. While bratwurst, pretzels, and schnitzels remain staples, the country's immigrant population has introduced flavorful Turkish doner, Vietnamese pho, Middle Eastern falafel, and Italian espresso culture to urban streets. Farmers markets and bio-organic shops are widespread, reflecting a strong consciousness about health and sustainability. Language can be a barrier. German is not an easy language to master, and although many people speak English, especially in business settings and younger generations, Navigating everyday bureaucracy still requires some German knowledge. However, the country's openness to international talent continues to grow, making integration easier than it was a decade ago. Work culture and economic power. Precision at its core. Germany's economic reputation is no accident. It is the fourth largest economy in the world and the largest in Europe, home to global giants like BMW, Siemens, SAP, and Volkswagen. The country is synonymous with precision engineering, quality control, and industrial strength. Work culture in Germany is characterized by punctuality, professionalism, and planning. Meetings start on time. Lunch breaks are efficient, and productivity is prized above all else. That said, Germany also values work-life balance. The average workweek is around 35 to 40 hours, and paid vacation time is generous, averaging 25 to 30 days per year. For entrepreneurs, the German market is stable but regulated. Starting a business involves paperwork and patience, but the rewards are strong if you can navigate the system. For tech professionals, engineers, medical workers, and researchers, the German job market remains robust and open. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Germany overall Expat Meter score, 8 out of 10. Though living costs are high, especially in big cities, Germany offers strong public services, high standards, and a reliable quality of life. Don't miss out. Be part of the journey. If you're curious about life in Germany or planning your next big move, now's the time to dive deeper. Whether you're considering a relocation, a cultural adventure, or simply want to understand one of the world's most influential countries, Germany offers insights, opportunities, and experiences that last a lifetime. Like, subscribe, and follow our channel for more global explorations and expat deep dives. From city guides to cost breakdowns, we bring you the world, one country at a time. Spain, a sun-drenched life of culture, comfort, and contrasts for expats. Spain is more than just flamenco and beaches. It's a lifestyle that continues to draw expats from all over the world. With its sunny climate, rich culture, and diverse landscapes, Spain offers something for everyone, from vibrant cities to tranquil seaside villages. But life here isn't just about relaxation. It also involves balancing excellent public services with a rising cost of living. In this overview, we'll explore Spain's environment, climate, affordability, infrastructure, and safety. Factors that contribute to its impressive. A landscape that inspires. The environment of Spain. Spain's environment earns a solid 8.1 out of 10, showcasing the country's incredible geographic diversity. Few countries in Europe can boast such a wide range of natural settings. From the snow-capped Pyrenees and lush forests of Galicia to the arid deserts of Almeria and the turquoise waters of the Balearic Islands, Spain has something for every kind of nature enthusiast. The accessibility of nature is another key feature. Whether you're in a major city like Barcelona or a smaller town like Ronda, nature is never far away. Many expats are drawn to the country's expansive network of hiking trails, national parks, and coastal paths. Popular areas like the Camino de Santiago or the volcanic landscapes of Tenerife provide endless opportunities for outdoor exploration. Urban planning in Spain also tends to blend green spaces into city life. Public parks, plazas, and tree-lined avenues are staples across Spanish municipalities, making it easy to find peace in the middle of the urban hustle. Environmental sustainability efforts have also become more prominent. Cities like Valencia and Bilbao have invested heavily in eco-friendly public transport and waste management systems. A climate to fall in love with. Spain's climate score of 10 out of 10 is one of the highest among expat destinations, and it's not difficult to understand why. The country is famous for its abundant sunshine and mild winters, with over 300 days of sun in many parts of the country, especially along the Costa del Sol and Canary Islands. It's a dream for anyone seeking year-round warmth and comfort. The diversity of climates across Spain also allows expats to choose the weather that suits them best. Coastal areas like Alicante and Malaga offer warm, dry summers and mild winters, perfect for retirees and sun lovers. In contrast, northern regions like Asturias and the Basque Country are cooler and greener, with more rainfall but also more forested landscapes. Inland cities such as Madrid experience hot, dry summers and cooler winters, making them ideal for those who enjoy distinct seasonal changes. Despite these benefits, climate change is introducing some risks. Southern Spain faces increasing instances of drought and heatwaves, and certain agricultural regions are struggling with water shortages. However, these concerns don't significantly dampen the country's overall climate appeal. For most expats, the opportunity to enjoy outdoor cafes in December or take a beach stroll in February is simply too good to pass up. The cost of living dilemma. Surprisingly, Spain scores just 4.3 out of 10 in the affordability category. While many still think of Spain as one of the cheaper European countries, the reality is evolving, especially for expats. In popular cities and coastal areas, the cost of living has risen steadily over the past few years. Rental prices in Barcelona, Madrid, Valencia, and Malaga have surged due to increased demand, gentrification, and the booming tourism and short-term rental markets. That said, Spain is still more affordable than other Western European countries like France, Germany, or the UK, especially if you avoid the most tourist-saturated areas. Rural towns, inland cities like Zaragoza, or even up-and-coming regions like Extremadura offer a lower cost of living without sacrificing quality. For those willing to explore beyond the well-worn expat paths, Spain remains highly accessible. Daily expenses such as groceries, transportation, and healthcare are generally reasonable. Public markets offer fresh produce at prices lower than many other EU countries, and public transportation is both efficient and inexpensive. Daily life backed by modern infrastructure. When it comes to infrastructure and day-to-day living, Spain earns at 8.6 out of 10, reflecting its robust systems in healthcare, transport, and digital connectivity. The country's public transportation is efficient, affordable, and comprehensive. Cities are well connected by metro, bus, and tram systems, while the national high-speed train network, known as the AVE, makes intercity travel fast and comfortable. Healthcare is another area where Spain shines. The country boasts a strong public health system that's both accessible and high quality. EU residents and those with residency permits can take advantage of public health care, while private insurance options are available for those who prefer shorter wait times and more personalized service. Many hospitals in larger cities have English-speaking staff, and the medical standards are consistently high. Spain is also one of Europe's leaders in internet connectivity, with fiber optic networks reaching most urban and suburban areas. Co-working spaces are on the rise in cities like Seville, Madrid, and Barcelona, making it an attractive destination for digital nomads and remote workers. Safety and stability in daily life. With a safety and political stability score of 7.2 out of 10, Spain offers a generally secure environment, though it's not without complexities. Violent crime is relatively rare, and most expats report feeling safe walking alone, even at night, in both small towns and major cities. Police presence is strong, and there is a notable sense of public order. However, like many countries, Spain has its pockets of concern. Petty theft, especially pickpocketing, is common in busy areas like Las Ramblas in Barcelona or Puerta del Sol in Madrid. Expats are advised to be cautious with their belongings in tourist-heavy zones. In terms of political stability, Spain is a stable democracy with strong institutions, but regional tensions, especially in Catalonia, can occasionally lead to public demonstrations or disruptions. Still, these issues are manageable and rarely escalate into anything that disrupts daily life for residents. Expats who stay informed, respect local customs, and engage with their communities generally find Spain to be a safe and welcoming place. Community, culture, and the Spanish way of life. Beyond statistics and rankings, what truly defines expat life in Spain is the lifestyle. The culture is warm, social, and centered on community. Spaniards value family, connection, and living life at a slower, more deliberate pace. Meals are long and social, afternoons are for rest, and the work-life balance is prioritized in ways many other countries envy. Expats quickly adapt to the rhythm of Spanish life. Morning coffee at a local cafe, late dinners with friends, weekend markets, and vibrant fiestas that seem to occur in every town and city. Whether you're exploring the Moorish architecture of Andalusia, savoring paella in Valencia, or catching waves in San Sebastian, life in Spain invites you to live fully and with joy. Language is an important factor in integration. While English is spoken in many expat communities and tourist areas, learning Spanish significantly enhances your experience and deepens your connection with locals. Why expats continue to flock to Spain? Spain's appeal for expats is both practical and emotional. It offers the warmth of the Mediterranean, the structure of the European Union, and a cultural richness that few countries can rival. Its blend of historical depth and modern comfort creates a unique living experience. Whether you're a retiree looking for sunshine and good health care, a young professional working remotely, or a family seeking safety and education, Spain has options. There are expat communities across the country that offer support, shared experiences, and resources to help newcomers settle in. From a lifestyle perspective, Spain offers a chance to slow down and enjoy the moment. The cost of living may be rising, and bureaucratic challenges remain, but the overall quality of life is still among the best in Europe. Spain's Expat Meter score. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Spain overall Expat Meter score. 7.7 out of 10. Spain may not be the cheapest destination anymore, but it continues to offer one of the most rewarding lifestyles on the global expat map. If you value sunshine, connection, and a slower, fuller way of life, Spain could be exactly what you've been looking for. If this deep dive into life in Spain inspired you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more honest, research-backed guides to living abroad. Thinking of your next move? Stay tuned. More expat destination reviews are on the way. Thailand, a colorful chaos of opportunity and contrast. Thailand is a country that seems to exist in constant motion. Markets alive with sizzling street food, golden temples glittering under tropical sun, and motorbikes weaving through traffic like dancers in an endless routine. For travelers, it's a sensory feast. For expats, it's a mixed bag of stunning affordability, rich culture, and undeniable challenges. Whether you're drawn to the spiritual calm of Chiang Mai or the electric pulse of Bangkok, Thailand holds an irresistible charm, but also requires a clear understanding of what day-to-day life truly entails. From lush landscapes to political instability, and from budget-friendly living to unpredictable weather, the experience of living in Thailand is defined by contrasts. It's a nation where opportunity exists alongside uncertainty, and where expats can thrive if they know what they're stepping into. A land of natural wonder, Thailand's environment and landscape access. Thailand is often described as one of the most visually captivating countries in Southeast Asia. Yet in terms of environmental diversity and access to nature, the country sits at a moderate 6 out of 10. That might come as a surprise, given Thailand's stunning beaches, green mountains, and national parks. But the reality is more nuanced. The landscapes are beautiful, but can feel repetitive. The islands in the south, from Phuket to Koh Samui, boast white sand, turquoise waters, and postcard-perfect palm trees. The north, particularly around Chiang Mai and Pai, offers misty highlands, waterfalls, and scenic hiking routes. Central Thailand is flatter and more agricultural, dominated by rice fields and dense tropical greenery. However, much of this beauty is fragmented by rapid urbanization and tourism development. Access to untouched nature is often limited to more remote regions. Popular spots are crowded, sometimes overdeveloped, and infrastructure in these scenic areas doesn't always keep pace with visitor demand. Pollution is another concern, particularly in cities and during agricultural burning seasons in the north, which can severely affect air quality. Climate realities: heat, humidity, and natural hazards. Thailand's tropical climate is both a blessing and a burden. Scoring just 3.4 out of 10 in climate comfort and hazard risk, the country's weather poses serious considerations for long-term residents. The heat is a constant, with average temperatures in many regions hovering between 28 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius for much of the year. The humidity can be oppressive, especially during the rainy season. Thailand experiences three primary seasons: hot, rainy, and cool. The cool season, from November to February, is the most comfortable for outdoor activities. But come March, temperatures soar to sweltering levels, often triggering drought conditions in rural regions. The rainy season brings heavy monsoon downpours, which can result in localized flooding, transportation delays, and even landslides in mountainous areas. Climate-related risks are not limited to discomfort. Thailand is vulnerable to typhoons and tropical storms, especially along the Gulf and Andaman coasts. Coastal erosion, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent, especially in flood-prone urban areas like Bangkok. Despite these risks, many expats adapt by structuring their schedules around the seasons, choosing homes with good ventilation or air conditioning, and keeping emergency plans in mind during monsoon months. Life in Thailand requires flexibility and awareness of nature's unpredictable role. Affordability redefined: the financial freedom of life in Thailand. Where Thailand truly shines is its cost of living. With a remarkable affordability rating of 10 out of 10, the country ranks as one of the most budget-friendly places in the world for expatriates. This is not just about saving money, it's about expanding your lifestyle without overspending. Rent is a prime example. In Chiang Mai, a comfortable modern apartment in a central location may cost as little as $300 per month. Even in Bangkok, one of Asia's most vibrant capitals, a stylish one-bedroom apartment with amenities can be found for under $700. Utilities are modest and many rentals come fully furnished. Food is both affordable and delicious. Thailand's world-famous street food culture means that meals can be bought for $1 to $3, and even in sit-down restaurants, dining is rarely expensive. Fresh markets offer a wealth of produce at prices far below Western standards, and those who cook at home will find their grocery bills pleasingly low. Transportation is another area of great value. Taxis, motorbike taxis, tuk-tuks, and app-based ride services are abundant and affordable. The BTS SkyTrain and MRT subway systems in Bangkok offer modern air-conditioned convenience at low cost. Intercity travel, whether by train, bus, or budget airline, is economical and frequent. Infrastructure and daily convenience, evolving with regional standards. Thailand's infrastructure and daily life systems score 6.5 out of 10. That number reflects a reality in transition, a country where modern conveniences often coexist with frustrating gaps. In Bangkok and other large cities, infrastructure is relatively strong. Roads are in fair condition, public transport is improving, and internet speeds are fast and affordable. Bangkok's public transportation includes the BTS and MRT, which offer clean, efficient, and safe travel around the city. Buses and boat taxis provide additional options. However, public transport outside of Bangkok is limited. In many areas, personal vehicles, motorbikes, or local taxis are the only way to get around. Healthcare is one of Thailand's strongest assets. In cities, hospitals like Bumrungrad in Bangkok or Bangkok Hospital in Chiang Mai meet international standards, often attracting medical tourists. Clinics are abundant, wait times are short, and services are surprisingly affordable. Safety and stability. The complex reality. Public safety and political stability present the greatest challenge for Thailand, reflected in a low score of 4.5 out of 10. While Thailand is not considered dangerous in terms of crime, there are deeper systemic issues that affect its overall stability. Petty theft, such as bag snatching and scams targeting tourists, can be common in crowded areas. Violent crime is rare, but not non-existent. Most expats feel physically safe walking around cities, but caution is advised in nightlife zones or during political demonstrations. Thailand's political climate has been turbulent for decades. Military coups, shifting constitutions, and fluctuating civil liberties create a backdrop of unpredictability. The country is officially a constitutional monarchy, but in practice, military and elite influence remain strong. Protests and public dissent have been suppressed in the past, and freedom of speech is limited, especially regarding the monarchy. For most expats, political instability does not disrupt daily life, so long as one avoids involvement in local politics. However, visa rules can change without notice, and enforcement can be strict. It's vital for foreigners to stay up to date with immigration policies, comply with residency rules, and remain mindful of cultural sensitivities. Living the culture, spirit, flavor, and adaptation. Thailand's real magic lies in its culture. The Land of Smiles is more than a tourism slogan. It reflects a deeply rooted cultural emphasis on hospitality, kindness, and peaceful coexistence. Buddhism shapes much of Thai society, emphasizing respect, humility, and balance. Visitors and residents alike are expected to be polite, avoid confrontation, and show deference to elders and traditions. Thai cuisine is a vibrant fusion of sweet, sour, salty, and spicy. Every region offers its own specialties, from Isan grilled meats to southern coconut-based curries. Street food stalls, night markets, and fresh produce stands make eating in Thailand a joyful adventure. Food plays a central role in social life and local identity. Language presents a challenge for many expats. Thai is a tonal language with a unique script, and while English is spoken in business and tourism circles, daily communication with locals often requires effort. Those who invest in learning Thai often find their experience richer and more rewarding. Festivals like Songkran, Thai New Year, and Loi Krathong bring communities together in colorful, deeply spiritual ways. Traditional dance, music, and temple rituals continue to flourish alongside pop culture and modern nightlife. Living in Thailand means engaging with a culture that's dynamic, layered, and always evolving. Thailand offers a lifestyle that is as exhilarating as it is complex. Its affordability, cultural depth, and visual beauty make it a dream for many. But its challenges, ranging from weather risks to political instability, are real and should not be overlooked. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Thailand overall Expat Meter score. 5.9 out of 10. Take the leap. Explore more with us. Curious about what life is like in other countries? Want to know which destination might suit your dreams and budget? We explore the realities behind the postcard views so you can make informed choices with confidence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow our journey as we uncover the best and most challenging places to live, work, and explore across the globe. Thailand is just the beginning. Where will you go next? Japan, a high-tech nation wrapped in timeless tranquility. Japan is a place where the past and future exist side by side, where sacred Shinto shrines stand next to towering skyscrapers and ancient traditions seamlessly blend with cutting-edge innovation. For expatriates around the world, Japan offers a unique blend of high-quality living, unrivaled public safety, and a cultural experience unlike any other. But beneath the surface of neon lights and sushi bars lies a complex picture of affordability, weather risks, and integration challenges that every potential expat should know. The environment. Nature woven into urban life. 9.6, 10. From the snow-covered peaks of Hokkaido to the subtropical beaches of Okinawa, Japan's natural diversity is astonishing. Despite being a relatively small island nation, Japan manages to offer everything: mountains for skiing, lakes for canoeing, dense forests, cherry blossom-filled parks, and a vast coastline that provides moments of calm and peace amid the hustle of city life. Even in megacities like Tokyo or Osaka, Nature is not an afterthought. It's a part of everyday life. Parks like Ueno, Yoyogi, and Shinjugu-gyeon offer much-needed breathing space in urban settings, and meticulously designed Zen gardens give locals and expats alike a place for reflection. There's a deep respect for the seasons, which is reflected in festivals, cuisine, and daily living. Living in Japan means being constantly reminded of nature's role in one's lifestyle, a balance many countries fail to achieve. Climate and weather risks. A country of contrasts, 5.710. Japan's climate can be described as beautifully diverse, but also occasionally hazardous. There are 4 distinct seasons: crisp cherry blossom springs, humid summers, mild autumns with fiery foliage, and snowy winters. The range of climate allows residents to enjoy a wide variety of activities throughout the year: skiing in Nagano during winter, beach trips to Okinawa in summer, and hanami, flower viewing picnics in spring. However, this weather diversity comes with its own set of risks. Japan is located on the Pacific Ring of Fire, making it vulnerable to natural disasters such as earthquakes, tsunamis, and typhoons. While the country is perhaps the most prepared in the world when it comes to disaster response, thanks to strict building codes and a well-organized emergency response system, the risk still exists. Summers can be intensely hot and humid, especially in cities like Tokyo, where the heat island effect amplifies discomfort. Additionally, heavy rains during the monsoon season can sometimes lead to flooding or landslides in rural areas. So while the weather in Japan offers beautiful contrasts, it also demands respect and readiness, which slightly pulls down its climate score. Cost of living. A pricey paradise? 5.510. When it comes to affordability, Japan can be a mixed bag. Major cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Yokohama often rank among the more expensive places in the world to live, particularly in terms of housing. Rent for a small one-bedroom apartment in central Tokyo can easily rival cities like London or New York. Grocery costs, dining out, and public transportation can also add up, though the latter is offset by world-class service and punctuality. However, there are ways to live affordably, especially outside the major metropolitan areas. In smaller cities and rural prefectures, housing is significantly cheaper, and the overall cost of daily living drops dramatically. Japan's healthcare system is universal and affordable, another plus that indirectly improves cost of living satisfaction. Still, most expats will find themselves tight on discretionary spending if they live in prime urban areas without a high local salary. Another financial challenge for newcomers is the initial cost of settling in. Moving expenses, language schools, deposit-heavy rental contracts, and furniture purchases can strain budgets early on. While Japan is far from being the most unaffordable country, its high-quality lifestyle does come at a price, especially for those without corporate benefits or local income. Infrastructure and daily life. Efficiency at its finest, 10.010. Few countries in the world can rival Japan's infrastructure. Public transportation is world-renowned, clean, punctual, and efficient. The Shinkansen, bullet trains, make domestic travel incredibly convenient, connecting cities across the archipelago at lightning speed. Local trains and subways are not only efficient but also safe and user-friendly, even for non-Japanese speakers, thanks to English signage in most major hubs. Internet connectivity is fast, stable, and widely available. Whether you're working remotely from a Tokyo high-rise or video calling from a Kyoto cafe, you'll rarely experience disruptions. Healthcare is another standout. Japan's public and private health facilities are modern, accessible, and affordable under the national health insurance system. Pharmacies are easy to find, and doctors are typically well-trained and reliable. Supermarkets are abundant, clean, and offer both local and international options. Convenience stores, or kanbini, are a marvel in themselves. Open 24/7, they provide everything from gourmet snacks and ready-to-eat meals to postal services and banking. In short, Japan makes daily life not only manageable but genuinely pleasant, especially for tech-savvy or service-conscious expats. Security and political stability. Safety you can feel. 8.710. If you're seeking a place where safety is more than just a promise, Japan might be your ideal destination. Crime rates in Japan are remarkably low, and violent crimes are rare. It's not unusual to see people leave wallets or smartphones unattended in cafes, or to find them returned later, untouched. Children often walk to school alone, even in large cities, a clear reflection of public trust and safety. The police force is visible but not overbearing, and there's a strong societal expectation of orderliness and mutual respect. This sense of collective responsibility makes neighborhoods feel secure day or night. Politically, Japan has remained stable for decades. The government is relatively transparent and consistent, and there are very few public demonstrations or civil unrest events. While bureaucratic processes can sometimes feel slow or overly complex to foreigners, the system is reliable and geared toward long-term societal harmony. While Japan isn't without its geopolitical tensions, particularly with neighboring countries, the internal political climate remains calm, adding to a peaceful atmosphere that many expats deeply appreciate. Cultural immersion, a rich and respectful society. What sets Japan apart, perhaps even more than infrastructure or safety, is its culture. It's one of the few places where centuries-old traditions continue to thrive in everyday life. From seasonal tea ceremonies to neighborhood festivals and sumo tournaments, there's always something culturally enriching to explore. However, cultural immersion isn't always seamless. The language barrier can be a major hurdle. While younger generations and business professionals often speak some English, fluency in Japanese is often required for full integration into society. Social norms around etiquette, communication, and group harmony can also take time to understand and adapt to. Still, most expats report that the effort pays off. Japanese society values politeness, cleanliness, and mutual respect. Once you establish relationships, they are often long-lasting and deeply meaningful. Technology and innovation, living in the future. Living in Japan often feels like living in the future. Automated convenience stores, robotic restaurant servers, vending machines that sell everything from hot meals to umbrellas. It's a tech lover's dream. Cities like Tokyo and Osaka are constantly evolving, with new innovations in transport, sustainability, and smart living emerging year after year. For digital nomads and remote workers, this is heaven. Fast internet, reliable co-working spaces, and tech-friendly environments make productivity a breeze. Expat Meter Final Score. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Safety carries the most weight, followed by environment and infrastructure, then climate and cost of living. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Japan's overall Expat Meter score, 8.3 out of 10. Living in Japan is more than just an experience. It's a lifestyle. It's waking up to the sound of cicadas in summer, walking past glowing vending machines at midnight, eating fresh sushi in a centuries-old market, and riding a train that leaves exactly on time. It's a country where tradition and modernity coexist in harmony and where safety, efficiency, and beauty shape everyday life. Yet, it's also a place that demands effort. Learning the language, adjusting to unique customs, and navigating a different pace of life can be challenging. But for those who are open to growth, Japan offers a deeply rewarding journey. If this glimpse into life in Japan has sparked your curiosity or helped you plan your next move, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most fascinating countries. Hit the like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and tell us, which country should we explore next? Canada Life. The truth about living in the Great White North. Canada, often painted as a picturesque land of maple syrup, polite neighbors, and jaw-dropping wilderness. But what's life really like in the land of snow-capped mountains and urban skylines? Whether you're dreaming of moving to Canada, planning a visit, or just curious about the quality of life there, this video takes a deep dive into the real experience behind the image. From the cost of living to climate risks, safety to infrastructure, we're exploring every angle of Canadian life as experienced by residents and expats alike. Nature and landscape. A beautiful, yet familiar canvas. Canada is often celebrated for its vast wilderness, stretching forests, pristine lakes, and towering mountain ranges. With national treasures like Banff, Jasper, and the Yukon, the country certainly doesn't lack in natural beauty. But surprisingly, Canada's overall environment rating sits at an average 6 out of 10. That's not due to a lack of greenery or outdoor spaces. Those are abundant. Instead, it's about accessibility and landscape diversity. For many city dwellers, day-to-day life doesn't involve kayaking across turquoise lakes or spotting moose at dawn. Major urban areas like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal are dominated by buildings, concrete, and well-manicured parks. While Canadians do appreciate nature, access to truly wild, untouched areas often requires hours of travel. In comparison with countries that integrate nature directly into urban life, Canada's environment score reveals a reality that's a little more suburban and less wilderness-packed than you might expect. Climate and weather, cold comforts, and low risks. Canada is known for its chilly winters, and that reputation is well-earned. Depending on the region, winters can last from 4 to 6 months, with temperatures in places like Winnipeg or Edmonton regularly dropping below -20 degrees Celsius. But there's an upside. Canada's climate and weather risks score an impressively low 3.4 out of 10. What this means is that while the country is cold, it's also very stable. Canada rarely experiences extreme weather events like hurricanes, floods, or wildfires on a scale seen in other parts of the world. The infrastructure is built to handle snow, and cities keep roads and public spaces functional year-round. Summers are often warm and pleasant, especially in cities like Vancouver and Toronto. But for those not used to long, cold, and dark winters, the adjustment can be tough. Seasonal affective disorder is a known issue, and the cold can isolate people indoors for months. Still, if you're looking for a climate that's consistent, safe, and largely free of natural disasters, Canada delivers. Cost of living, a pricey paradise. This is where the Canadian dream starts to wobble. The affordability score for Canada comes in at just 4.3 out of 10. For both locals and expats, the high cost of living is a constant challenge. Cities like Vancouver and Toronto are often ranked among the most expensive places to live in North America. Rent is steep, especially for one-bedroom apartments in downtown areas, and it doesn't help that housing supply often lags behind demand. Grocery prices are also high, in part due to the country's vast geography and reliance on imports, especially during the winter. If you're an expat earning local wages, you'll find that your purchasing power is limited. Essentials like childcare, transportation, and even mobile data plans can eat up a large chunk of your income. In short, while Canada offers great quality of life, that comfort comes at a cost many find difficult to sustain long-term. Infrastructure and daily life, smooth, safe, and connected. Canada excels when it comes to infrastructure and the ease of daily life, scoring 9.1 out of 10 in this category. The country boasts efficient public transportation in most major cities. The rural and suburban areas still rely heavily on cars. Internet connectivity is strong, though somewhat expensive compared to global standards. Healthcare access is another major plus. Canada's publicly funded healthcare system ensures that residents can access essential services without the fear of crushing bills. While wait times can be long for non-urgent procedures, the system provides peace of mind that's hard to match. Daily life in Canada is generally smooth. Grocery stores are well-stocked, banks operate efficiently, and customer service is polite and reliable. Whether you're navigating city life or settling in a quiet town, the infrastructure supports a comfortable and predictable lifestyle. For many, that sense of structure is worth its weight in gold. Safety and political stability, a global gold standard. Canada scores a strong 8.7 out of 10 in terms of public safety and political stability. Violent crime is relatively rare, and gun violence is significantly lower than in its southern neighbor, the United States. Most Canadians feel safe walking alone at night, and communities are known for being close-knit and respectful. The police system is generally trusted, and emergency services are quick to respond. Political stability is another hallmark of Canadian life. Government transitions happen peacefully, freedom of speech is protected, and institutions operate with a high degree of transparency. This sense of safety and predictability makes Canada especially appealing for families, retirees, and those seeking long-term stability. It's not just about avoiding danger, it's about knowing the rules are fair and that society is built on mutual respect. The expat experience, a mixed bag. Despite all these strengths, Canada's overall Expat Meter score sits at 6.8 out of 10. Why the average score? It's all about expectations versus reality. Expats are often drawn in by Canada's image of inclusivity, opportunity, and natural beauty. But once they arrive, the realities of long winters, high living costs, and slow immigration processes can dampen the initial excitement. Settling in isn't always easy. While Canadian people are polite and communities are generally welcoming, breaking into social circles can take time. Cultural integration is slower than in some European countries, and work-life balance can vary widely depending on the industry and province. Still, Canada offers an unmatched sense of security, freedom, and long-term opportunity if you're prepared for the initial hurdles. Cultural blend. A mosaic, not a melting pot. One of the most distinct elements of Canadian life is its multicultural identity. Unlike countries that encourage assimilation, Canada promotes cultural preservation and inclusivity. This is most visible in cities like Toronto, which boasts over 200 ethnic communities and a food scene that's a global buffet. Multilingualism is common, especially in provinces like Quebec, where French and English blend into daily life. Cultural festivals, community centers, and ethnic businesses thrive, adding color and vibrancy to urban life. However, this mosaic structure also means integration depends on where you live. In some areas, tight-knit immigrant communities flourish, but remain somewhat isolated from broader Canadian society. It's a balance between maintaining identity and embracing a shared national culture. Work and opportunity. Promising, but competitive. Canada's job market is relatively strong, especially in sectors like technology, healthcare, and skilled trades. For those with in-demand qualifications, Canada offers solid employment opportunities and fair labor protections. But the job hunt can be competitive, and international credentials may not always be recognized right away. Work-life balance is generally respected, with reasonable vacation time, maternity leave, and workplace safety laws. Remote work is increasingly accepted, especially post-2020, opening doors for professionals around the world. Immigration pathways like express entry and provincial nominee programs attract thousands of applicants each year, but the process is meticulous and slow. Patience and paperwork are part of the Canadian journey. Is Canada worth it? Canada is one of those countries that quietly excels. It doesn't shout about its strengths, but offers a steady, reliable life for those who can manage its costs and climate. It's not a fantasy land. It's a functioning society that values safety, equity, and calm over chaos. The blend of nature, safety, healthcare, and politeness makes it a dream for many. But dreams require sacrifice. If you're chasing the Canadian lifestyle, be prepared for high rent, long winters, and a slow burn toward community and belonging. Is it worth it? For many, the answer is yes, but it's not automatic. Canada rewards resilience, patience, and a love for calm, well-ordered living. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Canada overall Expat Meter score, 6.8 out of 10. If you're curious about life in Canada or planning a move, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into global living. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments. We'd love to hear from Canadians and expats alike. What surprised you most about life in the Great White North? Whether you're planning to visit, work, or move permanently, Canada is more than just a maple leaf on a flag. It's a full experience. And now you're one step closer to understanding it. Costa Rica, a natural wonderland with a balanced expat lifestyle. Tucked between the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, Costa Rica is a country that has long enchanted travelers, environmentalists, and digital nomads. Known for its peaceful society, lush biodiversity, and pura vida lifestyle, it attracts thousands of expats each year who come seeking more than just beautiful views. For many, it's about a slower pace of life, a stronger connection to nature, and a chance to live meaningfully. With an Expat Meter score of 6.7 out of 10, Costa Rica ranks impressively high overall, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. The country strikes a unique balance between natural beauty and moderate infrastructure, offering an experience that's both inspiring and, at times, unpredictable. Where nature thrives, environment score 9.610. Costa Rica is a treasure trove of biodiversity. Though small in size, this Central American nation contains around 5% of the world's species. The country is home to more than 25 national parks, protected reserves, and wildlife refuges. Expats living here are never too far from rainforest-covered hills, cloud forests, pristine beaches, and active volcanoes. Nature plays a central role in everyday life. It's not uncommon to spot monkeys swinging through trees, sloths doozing on power lines, or toucans gliding overhead. The sheer diversity of landscapes makes it ideal for hikers, surfers, wildlife lovers, and adventure seekers. From the rich coastlines of Guanacaste to the vibrant jungles of Osa Peninsula, Costa Rica delivers natural wonder after natural wonder. But what truly sets Costa Rica apart is its commitment to conservation. The country runs almost entirely on renewable energy, and sustainable tourism is a national priority. Eco-lodges, organic farms, and conservation projects provide opportunities not just for travel, but for lifestyle choices that align with environmental values. This deep respect for nature is something expats quickly embrace and integrate into their way of living. Comfort in the tropics. Climate and weather score 5.710. Costa Rica's tropical climate varies by region, offering options for every preference, from humid rainforests to breezy highlands. While temperatures remain relatively warm year-round, there are distinct wet and dry seasons. The dry season, known as verano, typically lasts from December to April and brings plenty of sunshine. The wet season, invierno, runs from May to November and features frequent afternoon showers and lush green surroundings. The climate comfort score lands in the middle range, largely due to the rainy season and the country's exposure to occasional natural risks like floods, hurricanes in coastal zones, and landslides in mountainous areas. However, the risks are relatively manageable, especially when compared to other tropical nations. Expats often plan their locations based on climate preference, some preferring the cooler climates of the Central Valley near San Jose, while others enjoy the warmth and coastal charm of places like Tamarindo or Puerto Viejo. What's worth noting is how the climate shapes the rhythm of life. The weather encourages outdoor living, gardening, morning hikes, and sunset beach walks. Life in Costa Rica is synced with nature, and once you adjust to the seasonal changes, it becomes an enriching part of the experience. Affordable living with a view. Cost of living score 9.410. One of the biggest draws for expats moving to Costa Rica is affordability, especially when compared to the US, Canada, or Europe. Although prices have risen slightly in recent years, the overall cost of living remains favorable. Rent, groceries, public transportation, and healthcare are all more budget-friendly, particularly outside tourist-heavy areas. A couple can live comfortably on $2,000 to $3,000 a month, depending on lifestyle and location. In more rural or non-touristic areas, the cost can be significantly lower. Many expats find that they can afford services they wouldn't consider back home, like domestic help, regular massages, or private language tutoring. Local produce is fresh, cheap, and widely available at weekly farmers markets called ferias. Dining out at Sodas, small, local eateries, offers delicious traditional meals for a fraction of what you'd pay in a Western country. Imported goods and high-end real estate can get expensive, but with thoughtful budgeting, life in Costa Rica is comfortably affordable for most expats. Life in motion. Infrastructure and daily life. 5.610. While Costa Rica shines in natural and lifestyle categories, its infrastructure remains a work in progress. Roads can be bumpy and narrow, especially in rural or mountainous regions. Though major highways have improved, potholes and limited signage are still common. Driving can be unpredictable, and public transportation, while widespread, isn't always the most efficient. Internet connectivity has improved over the years and is generally reliable in urban centers and expat hubs like Escazú, Atenas, or Nozara. However, remote areas may still experience slow or inconsistent service. For digital nomads, it's advisable to check speeds in advance before settling in a particular region. Healthcare in Costa Rica is another mixed bag, though overall it remains a highlight. The country operates a universal public healthcare system known as the Caja Costarricense de Seguro Social, which is accessible and affordable. Many expats also opt for private healthcare, which is still much cheaper than in the US and features modern facilities and highly trained professionals. Access to quality care, especially in San Jose, is a major plus. Peaceful but not problem-free. Security and political stability. 4.510. Costa Rica has no standing military and is widely considered one of the most peaceful countries in the region. Politically, it has enjoyed a long-standing democracy with free elections and a stable government. However, public safety and crime remain issues in certain areas, particularly in larger cities like San Jose or in drug trafficking zones near borders. Petty crimes such as theft and burglary is the most common concern for expats, and caution is advised in urban areas, especially at night. Police response times may vary, and legal systems can be slow. Despite this, violent crime rates remain relatively low, and many expats report feeling safe overall, particularly in smaller towns and gated communities. The country's political environment is generally calm, although protests do occur, often related to economic reforms or public sector issues. These demonstrations are typically peaceful, and most expats are unaffected. Still, being informed and aware of local events is important for anyone planning to settle in Costa Rica, a culture of pura vida. One of Costa Rica's greatest intangible assets is its culture. The phrase pura vida translates to pure life and is more than just a slogan. It's a philosophy. It reflects a national identity rooted in gratitude, simplicity, and joy. Life is slower here, more deliberate. People greet you with a smile, stop to chat, and treat strangers with warmth and respect. This cultural mindset is a refreshing change for many expats, especially those coming from fast-paced, high-stress environments. Community life is strong, and expats often find it easy to connect with both locals and fellow foreigners. Whether you're volunteering at a wildlife refuge, joining a beach yoga class, or attending a local festival, opportunities for meaningful social engagement are everywhere. Religion, family, and community still play central roles in Costa Rican life. There's a sense of interdependence and shared values that many expats find both comforting and inspiring. Adjusting to the culture may take time, but it rewards patience with a deep sense of belonging. A destination for digital nomads and retirees alike. Costa Rica is not just for retirees anymore. The country has also become a favorite among digital nomads, remote workers, and entrepreneurs. The government has even introduced new visa options aimed at attracting this crowd, including a digital nomad visa that allows remote workers to stay for extended periods. With beachside co-working spaces, international schools, and growing tech infrastructure, Costa Rica is adapting to the modern expat. Retirees continue to be a major presence, drawn by the affordable healthcare, warm climate, and relaxed pace of life. Families also find it welcoming. Safe neighborhoods, bilingual schools, and child-friendly culture make it an attractive option for those looking to raise children abroad. Expat Meter score 6.710, the balanced expat life. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Costa Rica overall Expat Meter score, 6.7 out of 10. It doesn't pretend to be perfect. Challenges in infrastructure and public safety are real, but it delivers where it counts for many expats. A healthy, active, and meaningful way of life. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth expat breakdowns and global living insights. Tell us in the comments, could you see yourself living the Pura Vida life? Indonesia, a diverse paradise with unexpected trade-offs for expats. Indonesia, a country made up of over 17,000 islands, where emerald jungles, white sand beaches, and ancient temples coexist with bustling city life and rich cultural traditions. Often praised as one of Southeast Asia's hidden gems, Indonesia has become increasingly popular among expats seeking adventure, affordability, and a closer connection to nature. But while the surface offers breathtaking beauty and low living costs, the deeper reality is more layered. Let's explore why Indonesia receives an Expat Meter score of 5.8 out of 10, and what that means for those considering calling this vibrant archipelago home. Nature's playground. Environment score 10. When it comes to natural beauty, Indonesia is in a league of its own. The country's landscape diversity is simply astonishing. From the volcanic mountains of Java to the untouched rainforests of Kalimantan, and from the tranquil rice terraces of Bali to the turquoise waters of Raja Ampat, nature thrives in every direction. This environmental abundance doesn't just look good on postcards. It defines the lifestyle of many expats. Whether you're trekking through national parks like Komodo or Gunung Luzer, diving among coral reefs in Sulawesi, or simply relaxing on a beach in Lombok, Indonesia offers a kind of connection to the natural world that few countries can match. Outdoor enthusiasts find it hard to resist the call of Indonesia's wild places. The country is also rich in biodiversity, housing some of the world's most endangered species like the orangutan, the Sumatran tiger, and of course, the famous Komodo dragon. Indonesia's vast network of islands provides endless opportunities for exploration, whether it's through ecotourism, volunteering, or just embracing the laid-back island lifestyle. Tropical comfort with minimal risk. Climate and weather score 2.7, 10 low risk. Unlike many parts of the world facing extreme climate variations, Indonesia enjoys a relatively stable tropical climate. Temperatures hover between 26 to 30 degrees Celsius throughout the year, making it an ideal environment for those who favor warm weather. The consistent temperatures are a plus for expats who want to escape the bitter winters of Europe or North America. Rainy and dry seasons do vary by region, but the weather remains relatively predictable. While heavy monsoon rains can sometimes cause flooding in major cities like Jakarta, overall exposure to extreme natural hazards is low compared to neighboring countries. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are part of Indonesia's natural reality due to its position on the Pacific Ring of Fire. But for many expats, the year-round climate comfort outweighs the occasional geological disruptions. Living large for less. Cost of living 10. Indonesia ranks exceptionally high in affordability. For many expats, this is the country's biggest selling point. In places like Bali, Yogyakarta, or Surabaya, a comfortable lifestyle is easily within reach, even on a modest income. Rent is dramatically lower than in Western countries, and daily expenses such as food, transportation, and services are surprisingly inexpensive. A fully furnished one-bedroom apartment in a central area can cost less than what someone might pay for utilities alone in the West. Local food markets, street vendors, and warungs, small local restaurants, offer delicious meals for just a few dollars. Even healthcare and domestic help, which would be considered luxuries elsewhere, are accessible to most expats living here. Remote workers and digital nomads especially benefit from this cost structure. With the global rise of remote work, Indonesia, especially Bali, has emerged as a hotbed for creatives and tech professionals looking to stretch their income while enjoying a tropical lifestyle. Cracks beneath the surface. Infrastructure and daily life. 3.3. Despite all its natural and economic charm, Indonesia struggles when it comes to infrastructure. Transportation in major cities is often chaotic. Traffic congestion in Jakarta is notorious, and while there have been improvements like the MRT and Trans-Jakarta bus systems, public transit options are still limited in most parts of the country. Outside of major urban centers, roads can be poorly maintained and prone to flooding. Internet access, while improving, still lags behind international standards, especially in more remote areas. For those who rely on strong connectivity for work or communication, this can be a frustrating limitation. Healthcare, too, poses challenges. While major cities offer private hospitals with acceptable standards, rural areas may lack even basic medical facilities. International health insurance is highly recommended, and many expats travel to Singapore or Bangkok for more serious medical procedures. Daily tasks can also take more time than expected. Bureaucracy can be slow, and things like obtaining a visa, registering for services, or even setting up a mobile phone plan may involve multiple visits and paperwork. Patience is key when adjusting to the pace of everyday life here. A sense of uncertainty, security, and political stability. 3.810. While most areas of Indonesia are safe for day-to-day life, the country does face certain challenges in terms of safety and political stability. Petty crime, such as pickpocketing and scooter theft, is relatively common, especially in tourist-heavy areas. Violent crime remains low, but expats are still advised to be cautious, particularly when navigating unfamiliar neighborhoods or remote regions. Political stability is another area of concern. Although Indonesia is a functioning democracy with regular elections, issues such as corruption, local unrest, and uneven law enforcement persist. While these don't directly affect most expats, they contribute to an overall atmosphere of unpredictability. Protests can occasionally disrupt city life, and local governance can be inconsistent depending on the region. Laws and regulations are also subject to sudden changes, sometimes without clear communication, leaving foreigners confused about what's required. These issues underscore the importance of staying informed and maintaining good legal standing while living in the country. Cultural immersion, and community life. Despite the drawbacks in infrastructure and governance, many expats speak glowingly about the warmth of the Indonesian people. Hospitality is deeply ingrained in the culture. Whether you're living in a village or a city, locals often go out of their way to make newcomers feel welcome. The country's rich cultural tapestry, shaped by Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism, and indigenous traditions, creates a vibrant daily life filled with festivals, rituals, and communal gatherings. Language can be a barrier, but Bahasa Indonesia is considered one of the easier Asian languages to learn, and many locals appreciate even basic efforts to communicate. Expat communities thrive in cities like Jakarta, Bandung, and especially in Bali, where coworking hubs, wellness centers, and international schools make integration relatively easy. However, outside these zones, living can feel isolated unless you're committed to immersing yourself fully in the local culture. Digital nomad heaven or illusion. Indonesia has made headlines as a top destination for digital nomads, particularly Bali. With beachfront cafes, yoga retreats, and thriving co-working spaces, the island projects a lifestyle that seems too good to be true. And for many, it is paradise. But it's not without its pitfalls. Internet speeds vary dramatically, even in popular areas. Frequent power outages can interrupt workdays, and the long-term visa process remains confusing for remote workers. Indonesia has shown interest in developing a digital nomad visa, but as of now, many expats rely on tourism or business visas that require frequent renewals and visa runs. That said, those who adapt to the rhythm of island life, slower, more relaxed, and sometimes unpredictable, often find it hard to leave. It's not about perfection. It's about finding joy in the imperfections. Expat Meter final score, 5.810. A paradise with caveats. We calculate the final score using a weighted system. Cost of living carries the most weight, followed by infrastructure, then environment, climate, and safety. You'll find a full explanation of the weighting and final score calculation in the description below. So here's Indonesia overall Expat Meter score, 5.8 out of 10. On one hand, the country offers breathtaking landscapes, affordable living, and cultural richness. On the other, it struggles with the basics that many expats take for granted: reliable infrastructure, modern healthcare, and stable governance. Is Indonesia right for you? Every expat story in Indonesia is different. Some come for the beaches and stay for the community. Others leave after a few months, disillusioned by the challenges of daily life. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. But one thing's certain: Indonesia leaves a lasting impression. Whether you're a nature lover, a budget-conscious traveler, or a remote worker seeking tropical inspiration, Indonesia offers an experience that's as rewarding as it is complex. It's a country that invites you to explore, adapt, and embrace the unexpected. Enjoy the insight. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more expat guides and honest country reviews. Let us know in the comments: would you live in Indonesia? Or have you already tried? We'd love to hear your story.